Hello, children. We are going to start Keeping Quiet. The poem for you by Pablo Neruda. This time, CBSE has given MCQs pattern. So, first of all, we are going to read about the poet. What is given about Pablo Neruda? He was born in 1904 and died in 1973. It is the pen name of Pablo Neruda is the pen name of Neftali Ricardo Rezi Bisualto, who was born in the town of Pal in Chile. Neruda's poems are full of easily understood images which make them no less beautiful. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. In this poem, Neruda talks about the necessity of quiet introspection and creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings. So children, you could see here, I'm just going to zoom it. For example, date of birth and date of death are given. There may be the question that you'll have to mark out the important days of his life. For example, a pair is given 1905 to 1983. The other pair is somewhere else, and then next pair is the same as this 1904 and 1973. You'll have to go with the same because this will be the correct one, isn't? If he has got Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971, it can be asked. He won in 1981, 71, 61, or 91. Or maybe before that, before his death date can be taken. So you'll have to keep it in mind that it is 1971. Such as he was born in Parral in Chile, you must learn all these facts. So without wasting any time, we are going to start the poem. This poem is divided into two parts. First part is to sow the seed of idea in the mind of the children and in the mind of readers. In the second part is having some regression of the past and how can we improve. This is said. See this? In the first two lines, he says, now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. Whom is he talking? He's talking to everybody. He says, I'm going to count up to 12 and everybody will keep still. The question is that why he has taken 12. Children, we know very well that everywhere around the world, all the people are not affluent enough. We are having so many problems. So there could be some poor people. Number 12 is the number which is understood by everybody. One may be a labor class person, one may be some other kind of means manual labor worker. But this number is known to everybody because the face of the clock tells the same number. Calendar tells us about the month, 12 months are there. Very smartly, the poet has taken 12 number. As he says, when I'm going to count, or we are going to count all of us together, you'll have to keep one thing is mind that we'll have to keep still. The first stanza tells us, I'm reading it out for you. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. What does that mean? For once on the face of the earth. What is on the face of earth? Means anywhere on the globe. आप कहीं भी हो सकते हैं. He is involving us all. उसने सारी मानवता को इसमें एड्रेस कर लिया है. You may be on any continent, you may be in an island, or maybe in the midst of sea if you're on voyage. He requests them all. Don't speak. किसी भी भाषा का प्रयोग ना करें. Let's stop for 1 second. He's not demanding very much long time. He's saying about 1 second only. From 1 to 12, he's going to count. And not move our arms so much. Children, this line can be taken like fun because two meanings are there. Two meanings are there. What those are? Our arms means our hands. हम अपने हाथों का अपने आर्म्स का कोई यूज नहीं करेंगे. As well as we are not going to use arms. Armament, right? As we know that every nation is having arms. हम भारतवासी हैं, हम भी इस मामले में आत्मनिर्भर हैं, हमारे पास भी आर्म्स हैं. लेकिन यहाँ पोइट क्या गुहार लगा रहा है? That we are not going to use them. Stop it. क्यों? Because we are going to count up to 12. Very easy number he has taken. Why he has taken? I've told you already. This number is known to everybody. And whatever else meaning may be there, I'll tell you at the end of the poem. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. It would be an exotic moment. Imagine this is going to be a very beautiful moment when the entire world would be quiet, as in 2020 it had been when complete lockdown was there. Children were talking about the same, that it had been exotic, differently exciting, a very joyous moment, without rush, without engine. Nobody is going anywhere. कोई rush नहीं है, लोग कहीं से कहीं तक दौड़ नहीं रहे हैं. No any kind of problem is there. Everybody, everything is quiet, right? सब कुछ शांत, संपूर्ण शांति पूरे अर्थ पर. कितनी देर के लिए? कुछ पल के लिए. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Again, he's using fun here. और एक आप यहाँ ये भी कह सकते हैं, it is all hyperbole. We will all be together. हम सब एक साथ होंगे. Hyperbole क्या होता है, children? Hyperbole, that is when we are talking about something in a very great manner. So what he says here, we'll be all together. सारी मानवता, पूरी दुनिया सब एक साथ होगी. कैसे? Are we going to be collected somewhere? No, not at all. हम कहीं जमा नहीं होने वाले हैं. हम कहीं भी असेंबल नहीं हो रहे हैं. कैसे होंगे? हमारे आइडियाज़, हमारे विचार हम एक साथ होंगे. इन अ सडन स्ट्रेंजनेस, जिसे हम कहते हैं विचित्र. बड़ा विचित्र होगा वो पल. क्यों? Because in spite of being away from each other, we'll be all together. How we are together? Because we are going to do the same work, same activity. What is that activity? Quietness. सब कुछ शांत होगा, सब उसमें पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे. Though children may know half of the world is having day, half of the world is having night. Night is not to be counted if you are sleeping. You must be awake, you must be in senses, you'll have to stop. No any kind of engine. अब आप ये कहेंगे कैसा इंजन? रेलवे इंजन? ऑफ कोर्स रेलवे इंजन. Any kind of big factories, big transportation system, even a small gadget at home called even a mixer grinder. छोटी से छोटी और बड़ी से बड़ी किसी भी तरह की कोई मोटर यूज नहीं होगी. क्या होगा? कंप्लीट साइलेंस. इट इज एन आइडिया ही इज गिविंग. कितनी देर के लिए? फॉर फ्यू मोमेंट्स. हाउ मेनी नंबर्स इज गोइंग टू काउंट? 12 only. Only for this moment one will be quiet. In these first two stanza and first two lines and then these two stanza which I read for you, क्या किया उसने? हमें एक नया विचार देने की कोशिश की है. एक प्रयास है पोइट का. कहता है हम सब साथ होंगे और हम क्या ऑब्जर्व करेंगे? कंप्लीट साइलेंस ऑब्जर्व करेंगे. नाउ विल सी नेक्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द पोएम. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the men gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. What does that mean? The people, those who are working in water in any way, either they are killing the animals like whales, or they are doing some other kind of harm to water, for example, water pollution, they'll have to stop for a short while. और सिंबॉलिज्म सेज कि अगर आप कहीं और भी हों, अगर आप अर्थ पर हों, बिकॉज ही हैज़ ऑलरेडी सेड इफ़ यू आर ऑन द फेस ऑफ अर्थ, आप अर्थ के किसी भी भाग में होंगे, आप पृथ्वी पर हों, आप पानी में हों, यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू हार्म एनवायरमेंट एंड एनिमल। ना तो आप किसी भी प्रकार का पोल्यूशन फैलाएंगे और ना ही किसी भी प्रकार के पशु पक्षी को हानि पहुंचाएंगे। क्या वो फॉरएवर रोक रहा है, सदा ऐसा ही रहेगा? नो, ही आर ओनली फॉर अ शॉर्ट वाइल। कुछ पल के लिए, कुछ समय के लिए रुक जाइए। डोंट हार्म देम। In the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Why he is called only the man one who is gathering salt? Actually, children, we do two kind of labor in the world. One is mind labor and the mental labor, I mean. The other one is manual labor. कुछ लोग हैं दुनिया में जो मजदूरी का काम करते हैं, कुछ लोग हैं जो मेंटल लेबर करते हैं, मस्तिष्क से काम लेते हैं। डॉक्टर, इंजीनियर, वकील सब उसी में ही आते हैं, टीचर्स इवन। जो मैनुअल लेबर करते हैं, दे रिमेन बिजी फॉर लॉन्गर आवर्स, एंड ही सेज दैट यू मस्ट हैव टाइम फॉर योरसेल्फ टू, because if they are not physically fit, how would they earn? What they'll have to do, they'll have to get the time out of their busy schedule for themselves personally, so that they can take care of themselves and they can keep themselves healthy for further work. Here he has taken men gathering salt, but it means all the people. Children, you can say fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, this part, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands, this part. All these things are symbolism because he is symbolizing all. See some more lines? Here, those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire. What he says here, those who prepare green wars. Again, symbolism is there. Whom has he taken? He's talking to the people, those who are planning makers, policy makers, those who bring any kind of revolution, those who are leaders, those who are guides, means those who do great works in nation, in countries, every country, and around the world. World class leader may be there. Those who are preparing green wars, those who are having any kind of responsibility to do some work, कोई revolution लाना है, आपने देखा ना, कुछ भी कोई revolution होते हैं, some leaders do work, वो लोग काम करते हैं, तो they'll have to stop preparing all these things. कुछ देर, कुछ समय के लिए रुकें, विचार करें. Wars with gas, next phrase. What does that mean? Wars with gas. It means intellectual, scientists, manufacturers, great intelligent people, those who are bashing all the time their heads. What they'll have to do? They'll have to stop for a short while. They are not going to prepare any kind of thing. उन्हें भी कुछ पल के लिए रुकना है, विचार करना है. Don't make any destructive thing, mean to say. War with fire. Wars with fire means finally those who are going to use them. For example, soldiers, policemen, forces, and even negative use like terrorists. All the people are not going to use them because it is the system of the world that some of the things are manufactured. First of all, they are invented, then manufactured. Some policies are made by world class leaders or by the leaders, and finally, the implementation is done. Whenever this implementation is taking place, a lot of laws are there. किसका loss होता है? Survivor, victorious, of course they are in loss. Losers are always in loss. That's why he's saying if we are continuing with the same victory with no survivors, it is what? Victory with no survivors is also hyperbole. Means around the world everybody would be killed. Then what is the use of that victory? क्या लाभ होगा उसका? Simple. We are, all the nations are having a rat race to have more and more arms. A number of countries are confident, right? Either developed or underdeveloped. But if we are going to utilize all these things, what will be there? The results would be good? No, of course not. We can take the example of Japan. When Japan had been the victim of this bombardment in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, what had happened? For few moments, it had been trouble. In one or two meetings, the final decision would have been taken. क्या रहा होगा? क्या कई महीने कई साल उन्होंने इस बात पे मंथन किया था कि हमें बॉम्ब ड्रॉप करना चाहिए जापान पर या नहीं? ऑफ कोर्स चिल्ड्रन, ये कुछ दिन का, मे बी अ वीक, एक हफ्ते का डिसीजन होगा, और रिजल्ट्स कैसे हैं? भयानक, कैटास्ट्रॉफिक. स्टिल द पीपल आर सफरिंग देयर. अभी तक वो लोग विक्टिम ही हैं, because the children, those who were born after that problem in Japan, they were having number of disabilities like blindness, deafness. If they are still alive, अगर वो आज भी जिंदा हो, तो they are still suffering the same problem. That's why the poet says, and this is called intelligent thing. हिंदी में हमारे एक कहावत होती है, तोलो फिर बोलो. विचार करने में वही बात है, पहले विचार करें फिर एक्शन लें. Same is there. If we are going to use all these things without any understanding, then we are going to have victory. But what victory? No survivors would be there. We'll destroy the entire earth. There'll be nobody. नेक्स्ट लाइन में पोइट क्या कह रहा है, देखिए. उसने बिल्कुल आइडिया बढ़िया दिया है, बदल कर क्या कहता है? वुड पुट ऑन क्लीन क्लोथ्स एंड वॉक अबाउट विद देयर ब्रदर्स इन द शेड डूइंग नथिंग. क्या करेंगे? The children would put on clean clothes. बच्चे नीट एंड क्लीन क्लोथ्स पहनेंगे. कौन से बच्चे? कौन से लोग? जो सोल्जर्स, जो पीपल, द पीपल दोज हु हैव बीन एट daggers drawn, the soldiers, those who are in trouble with each other. Because clean clothes are put on when we are going to attend some occasion. We are not going to kill each other. We are not going to have any quarrel. जब कोई झगड़ा करने जा रहा है, जब कोई युद्ध लड़ने जा रहा है, तब उसको ये परवाह नहीं होती कि मैं कितना गुड लुकिंग हूँ उस समय. वो बस जा रहा होता है. अर्जेंसी है, अटेंड करना है. When we go to a happy occasion, then we put on clean clothes. The poet is saying the same thing. Put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers. Who are these brothers? Your neighbors? Your close cousin? Your real relation? Who they are? No, they are not neighbors, neither classmates. They are any human being. Human being may be black, may be white, may be brown. Anybody without any boundary, without any uh, discrimination of caste, creed, and all. What you have to do? You'll have to put on clean clothes and meet your brothers, mean human being, in the shade. What is this shade, children? In the shade means in peaceful atmosphere, doing nothing. Doing nothing? No wrong activity must be done. पोएट यहाँ सब से क्या करता है? एक प्रार्थना करता है, एक, और यू कैन से ही इज जस्ट गिविंग एन आइडिया. प्रार्थना में नहीं कर रहा है, बल्कि एक विचार डाल रहा है हमारे मन में. क्या कहता है? कि आप एक दूसरे से मिलो. किस में? शांति भरे वातावरण में. बिकॉज चिल्ड्रन, whenever some war takes place, a lot of troubles are there to both the parties, both the countries. We can be the winner, and we were. We can take the example of Kargil war. We had won. India was the victorious, and the enemy, Pakistan, was the loser. But the people, those who were fighting the wars, they lost their lives. हमने वो loss उठाया है. Ask the families, those who have lost their dear one, would they be happy about this victory? They won't say anything because the loss is irreparable. So the poet is giving a very much new idea. उसने 12 नंबर लिया ही इसलिए है कि आप एक पल के लिए विचार कीजिए, फिर आप 12 आवर्स मीन्स कंटिन्यू राउंड द क्लॉक आपके मन में ये आइडिया रहेगा कि क्या सही है क्या गलत है. Then we can go on thinking and thinking for years. And finally, the people must come on a decision that wars, enmities, killing, bloodshedding, all these are harmful things. So this is the first part, children. It is done. And I'll tell you the next part in the next video. I hope you understood, right? And I'll give you MCQs also after the end of this poem. Take care. Okay.